And howdy, howdy, howdy. How is everybody doing tonight? How we doing, Joey?
Hey, what's happening, John? Hello, Chad. How are you, Chad?
Great, thank you. Great to see you guys again.
Yeah.
You too, buddy. You too, always, as always.
So, Chadwick, what? You got something for us?
Absolutely, guys. We're gonna do the weather from Alaska tonight, guys. In Anchorage, Alaska, it is 30 degrees, 0% precip. The wind is at 1, and it's 80% humid.
Oh, my goodness. Joey, you were busy today, weren't you?
A little bit, yeah, a little bit, yeah.
Yeah, I caught you on the Bob Levy show. So
Yeah,
how
he
was
was
that?
promoting us, trying to get us to get. I talked about him coming on next week, but he's booked next week. But he said after the 30th, he would definitely come on. So pretty much,
Excellent.
yeah.
Let's see. Let's see.
Yeah, it's excellent.
What the hell? Make it official here. You won the Postcard Club member raffle.
Oh yeah. He picked my name, my cupcake. Drew my name. He wasn't. He was shocked. I think. Yeah.
Yeah, so how is everybody doing tonight? Let's see who all we got in here. We got Grand Theft, Hoopty, we got Joe Gerst, we got Mr. Managed, Lisa Robinson, Anaphylaxis, Cajun Mama, Mischief Managed, Joe Gerst, getting all the same people, Scientology, Anaphylaxis, Mrs. Crepitus. How's Bill doing tonight, Mrs. Crepitus? Right. Mara Lee is in the house, Cupcakes Corner with American Cupcake. All right. So tonight we're going to talk about something kind of interesting. What do you know about Sam Bankman Fried?
I don't know much about him. Don't know much.
Dad, what do you know?
Oh, just the basics that he was convicted of some crypto scheme, and it's very complicated, and not really
Dad's
sure.
coming in real low, bud.
Oh, am I coming in low?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, that's better. No, it's just he was just he was convicted of some crypto scheme or something, and it's pretty complicated. I don't really fully understand it.
It's actually pretty crazy. If my understanding of this is correct, it's probably the biggest like crypto fraud case ever. So we're not just talking millions, we're talking billions of dollars involved with this. And basically you got some guy who portrays himself as he's this innocent young guy who's just out there just helping everybody make money off of crypto. Apparently he was living pretty high on the hog doing it, him and all of his friends. And we'll get a little more into that, but apparently he got 25 years for
billions.
What's that?
For billions, he got 25 years?
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah, but in some states right now, you get caught with a ounce of weed and you'll do more time than that. But hey,
that's true.
Welcome to the legal system. Plus, it wasn't just that. He donated tons and tons of money to the both parties. I mean, a lot of people talk about he donated to the Democrat Party, but he donated to both parties. So he was making sure he was covering his butt from the start, dumping tons of money into political campaigns and stuff like that. So, but yeah, it's just crazy. I'll read off from pretty much the wiki on him, because it's this when I first heard about this, and I've been watching this from the beginning. This is some insane stuff going on here with this guy and how he's played all this out. And, and he acts like he's just, some poor little kid and all that. He came from money as it was. And my personal thoughts on it is that he found a way to scam the system and make billions of dollars doing it and just got caught. So
that's true.
Let's see. Sam Benjamin Bankman Fried. Tell me he doesn't have some money. Not only does he have is Samuel Benjamin Bankman Fried, and he has a hyphenated last name. So you tell me that's not some kind of, my parents got money kind of crap going on there. He's commonly known as SBF, an American entrepreneur who was convicted of fraud and related crimes in November of 2023, founded the FTX cryptocurrency exchange, and was celebrated as a poster boy for crypto. And I'll tell you, everybody was talking about it. that's right. Everybody was talking about him like he was like some kind of savant, like he was the man when it came to cryptocurrency and all that. With FTX having a global reach with more than 130 international affiliates, at the peak of his net worth, he was ranked as the 41st richest American by the Forbes 400. You got to have some money to get into that kind of list in the first place.
That's true.
And here's was another nickname they had for him: the friendly math nerd persona that he mass significant problems at FTX. In November of 2022, as evidence of potential fraud began to surface, depositors quickly withdrew their assets, forcing the company into bankruptcy. On December 12th of 2022, Bankman Fried was arrested in the Bahamas. Yeah, he ran down to the Bahamas and extradited to the United States, where he was indicted on 7 criminal charges, including wire fraud, commodities fraud, securities fraud, money laundering, and campaign finance law violations.
Wow.
So he was trying to tilt the scales in his favor, with a bunch of campaign donations and stuff like that. But the crazy thing is, I don't know if any of the politicians that committed the campaign finance fraud with any of them got charged with anything. It was okay to get him for making too high of donations to campaigns, but what about the campaigns that accepted the money? So,
exactly.
In the case of U.S. versus Bankman Fried, he was convicted of all 7 counts of fraud, conspiracy, and money laundering. On March 28, 2024, he was sentenced to 25 years in prison and ordered to forfeit $11 billion. The trial was one of the most notorious cases of white-collar crime in the United States, with financier Anthony Scaramucci calling Bankman Fried the Bernie Madoff of crypto. Couple questions I got. Number one, that $11 billion he had to forfeit, where did that go? Did the government take that? Did they give it to the people that got scammed? Questions I got on that.
It sounds like the satellite man probably took it, right, guys in the chat?
Yeah, that'd be my candidate, the satellite man. I definitely would say he took it. No, I mean, in reality, who knows? I mean, this is a tough one. I mean, do they really when people get arrested for this type of money, do they really get to peel off any and put it away themselves? Sometimes the government will make a deal to allow them to keep something. Could be anything.
That's the crazy thing about a lot of these things, especially with these high-tech finance fraud cases.
Right.
You never get the full truth out of it.
Right.
You don't know where everything went. You don't know where all the stuff happened. You don't know what backdoor deals were made on this stuff.
Correct. And here's the other thing to look at, John. If he's that good, what keeps the FBI from hiring him down the road and take him out of prison to work with them? Because he's so good at what he does.
What was the name of that kid in the movie Catch Me If You Can?
Right. They did that. They took him out. I forgot his name, but the 60-year-old kid wrote a bunch of checks, wind up going to work for the FBI, then started a company with the security into checks. He's the guy that all the checks that people have for their checking account, business, everything. He's the guy that makes them, prints the checks and makes them. So
Frank Abagnale.
Frank Abagnale, that's right. Yes.
Yeah, and and that's the thing is that once you become useful, they can come in and he got a 25-year sentence. Okay, well, you come work for us and you help us track down other crypto fraudsters, and we'll get you out of prison. He does 6-7 months in prison. Next thing you know, he's out working in FBI offices, and they never tell anybody that they did it.
Exactly.
So, go ahead, Chad. You got something?
Oh yeah, I was just gonna say, hopefully the $11 billion goes back to some of the original investors, right?
Yeah, you would hope so.
You would hope, but you know how our government works.
Yeah. Yep. No, I know.
And as smart as he is, I guarantee you, if 11 billion is how much he had to get back, how much did he hide in other places that they can't even touch?
Right. Absolutely.
So. I mean, and all you got to do is just look at this guy's life history and who he, where he grew up, who his parents were, and all that, and you realize that he isn't just some kid off the streets who learned how to use crypto. Right. Born in 1992 in Stanford, California, son of Barbara Fried and Joseph Bankman, both professors at Stanford Law
Oh,
School.
yeah, this guy's getting out of jail, but they're going to use him to work for them. He's going to track down. There's no doubt in my mind. He'll be working for the FBI soon.
You know, his grandmother, Adrienne Fried Block, a noted musologist, whatever the hell that is. His aunt is the dean of Columbia University School of Public Health.
Wow.
This guy is connected 6 ways to Sunday. All right. So, I mean, you talk about being born with a silver spoon. No, this guy had a platinum spoon in his mouth. He came from money as it is. Let's see. Both of his parents are also being sued by the new owners of FTX to return assets Sam had given them. See, that's another way that you do it is you give gifts to friends and family, and under the hope that they're not going to be able to touch it. And I'm just wondering if the lawsuits against his parents, if they're going to be able to have any weight in it, because how do you go and sue somebody for a gift that was given to them? You're going to punish them for a gift that was given to them? I mean, that's crazy stuff. And he did it in the form of cash and a home valued at over $32 million. His parents admit Sam gave them this assets as gifts, but deny wrongdoing and are currently in court to make their case. Well, yeah, if I stood to lose $32 million, I'm going to do everything I can to fight it, wouldn't you?
Yes,
absolutely.
Let's see. He attended a Canadian-U.S. math camp, a summer program for mathematically talented high school students. Attended high school at Crystal Springs Upland School in Hillsborough, California. Does that sound like a public school to you?
No.
He graduated from MIT, Massachusetts Institute of Technology. That's where all the JPL, Jet Propulsion Laboratories, NASA guys and all that stuff go.
Right.
So let's see, and graduated in 2014 with a bachelor's in physics, a minor in mathematics. Let's see, and that's about all it says on that. In 2013, worked as an intern at the Jane Street Capital and proprietary trading firm, trading international ETFs, which is a type of exchange traded fund, a type of investment fund that is also exchange traded product. It's a stock on exchanges. ETFs own financial assets such as stocks, bonds, currencies, debts, futures. Listen to all the stuff you can invest in. I mean, the whole stock market thing to me is insanity to begin with. So let's see. In 2017, following fund injections from billionaire computer programmer Jean Talon and investor Luke Ding, Bankman and Tara Headley co-founded the quantitative trading firm Alameda Research. Now, remember that name because that's going to come up in the rest of this stuff. In 2021, owned approximately 90% of Alameda Research. In 2018, he organized an arbitrage in economics is the practice of taking advantage of a difference in prices in two or more markets. What the hell? Moving up to 25 million per day to take advantage of higher priced Bitcoin in Japan as compared to the United States. I mean, my gosh, this guy, this is the kind of stuff that if you don't know about it, you don't know about it. You just ain't going to make no money.
That's right.
But basically what he was doing was he was running this whole cryptocurrency thing. While on the same side, he had the Alameda Research thing, and Alameda Research, which was trading in stocks and all these different things, was hemorrhaging money. He was taking money from the FTX, transferring it into Alameda Research without telling people. And the next thing you know, all these people who were expecting money from their crypto in FTX are realizing there's no money there. And it's all just being, it's gone. He had, celebrities, athletes, people like that that were endorsing this stuff. And what they were doing was, instead of taking a salary for it, they were taking the William Shatner route like he did with Priceline. They were taking stock options in the company. And in that form, they were actually being given Bitcoin instead of being given cash for what, for what they were doing.
Right.
And he literally was taking all this money, funneling it into Alameda, but at the same time, he built like this compound kind of thing where all the big wigs within the company were all living together, talking about taking like ADHD medicines, just doing runs on stuff like that, big orgies going on in the place and everything. I mean, they were literally, living the life of, nerd heaven is what they were doing. And they were doing it on other people's money, and people ended up losing all their savings. They lost their pensions. They lost a bunch of stuff. And this guy got 25 years, and he's going to end up probably getting pulled out by one of the federal agencies to be used as some kind of informant or some kind of investigator for them. And, James has a perfect example of this. Should have gotten at least 75 years, but the more you take, the less time you do. It's the rule. Robbing a gas station for $200 gets you 25 years.
That's right. This is true.
True. Yep. That's what I heard too.
I mean, think about it. All the people who were doing all the big time major scamming back during the pandemonium, and all the bigwig people got a slap on the wrist, but anybody down in the lower ranks that they could do anything to, instead of focusing on the people who were taking the billions of dollars and money that was coming out, they were going after the lower level people. And the reason why they were doing it was because the bigger level people were the ones who are doing all the favorable stuff with politicians and government officials and shit like that. Whereas the smaller people at the very bottom of the rung, they went after them like they were the ones who'd done it all.
I can back that up 100%, John.
And,
Yep.
but you know exactly what I'm getting at. How many people took millions and millions of dollars during that time and will never see a day in jail. But people that we know who got caught up wrong way, one way or another, and didn't actually make any real money off of it, they got the real time for it. And that's what I see with this guy here. There's this same kind of stuff. Literally the largest cryptocurrency fraud in history, and he got 25 years for it.
Yeah, this is true.
Yeah.
I mean, as it shows you, that is the state of how things work in this country. Is, just like James is saying, the more money that you take, the less time you're going to do.
That's true. Very true.
I mean, and if you looked at the people that were involved in all this stuff, it was literally like Revenge of the Nerds in real life. I mean, these people honestly look like they spend 30 hours a day, playing Legend of Zelda and stuff like that, eating, delivered pizza and stuff and drinking Mountain Dew. They literally, that's what they look like. They're the kind, that you would expect to see in something like Revenge of the Nerds with the pocket protectors and stuff like that. And they're literally floating billions of dollars. And, people like us, we're out there, we go out and we bust our asses, 60, 80 hours a week just to pay our own bills, while these kids are sitting up there living high on the hog, on other people's money.
Yes.
So
I agree with this 100%.
Yeah, same here. Absolutely.
but
You have
it's
to
also-
wonder how much that Sam crafted the narrative of. I don't think that's exactly what he's going for with his outfits, but I think he wanted to be known as a common person. I guess he drove an old Toyota Corolla. He didn't, I think part of it at least was crafted.
And
Yeah,
I honestly believe that when you see him and you hear him talking and everything like that, you realize that he's, it appears like he's, playing a game, like he's the friendly little, oh, well, I have anxiety and this and that. He's doing what he wants to do. And
Exactly.
he's making everybody believe he's this soft little soy boy who can't, couldn't protect himself against anything. But how in the world can you be the mastermind of something like this if you're that weak and without, strengths to do this kind of stuff?
Yeah, I believe strongly he was probably enjoying this. The more he took, the
Oh yeah.
more he thought he was invincible. The more he was cocky. He might have not flaunted it in public, like you said. He drove a lesser car. He didn't flash with the jewelry and the cars and the boats and the houses. But I guarantee you, when you start getting away with stuff like this,
Yeah.
and you are young like you are, and you come from a family of professors and a well-to-do family, you're laughing at everybody. You're saying, ha, "I did it. I pulled it off." You're gonna go.
Oh
Greed's
yeah.
gonna get you, and that's what gets you busted. The greed. But there's no doubt with his background of his family, his parents being very educated, him being as young as he is, there's somewhere, like you said, somebody, government agency is going to pull him. There's no doubt. They can't let someone like that with a mind like that not put him
Right.
to use for something to help them. So they're definitely going to use him.
Right. And that's the thing is that this is all this is me personally, this is a scam from beginning to end.
Yes.
He comes in. When I look at this and I think about these things, I look at like the Bill Gates situation. Bill Gates likes to play it off like he started off very poor and he was building computers in his garage, when they don't tell you that his family had money. He went to a school that they purposefully sent him to, which had the highest tech computer systems in any school in the United States. And that's where he was learning everything from. It wasn't like he was just some aha.
Right.
He pulled open a pong machine or whatever it was from back in the day, like they showed in that 70s show where they play around with it to make it do different things. No, he literally went to a school where they taught him how to build computers, how to do all that stuff. It wasn't like he was just some undiscovered talent that just showed up out of nowhere. And
Yes,
that's what you got with this. Both of his parents are professors at Stanford University. His grandmother is some well-known person in the academic field. His aunt is a dean of public health at one of the big at Columbia University. I mean, all of this stuff just goes to show you how the elite class looks at us, and they think that we're all stupid and don't realize that they are literally doing these things just to suck as much money out of us as possible.
That's true. Very true. I agree with all this. It's
Yeah, same here.
definitely a scam from beginning to end. You can see that.
That's why I have nothing to do with the crypto stuff, because it's all there's too many questions about it. I've got people that are like, oh, I don't deal with banks anymore, it's all crypto. Well, guess what? The government's taking crypto over too.
Right.
How long did you think it was going to happen that you could be doing these high-end transactions without the government saying, hey, we deserve part of that, we allow you to live?
They're going to take their share. That's what the government is. That's what they do. They're going to tax it. They're going to they're going to get involved with the people that are investing, and they're going to make brackets out of it to see who should pay the higher tax and who should pay the lower tax. It's going to be like anything else they do. So,
well, you look at it. I mean, and the government literally through bureaucracy, they literally find ways. They're the snake that's eating its own tail. It's a never-ending evolution with the government and with bureaucracy. It's all about how they can find new ways to create new jobs, to put people in positions to find ways to tax or fine or punish American citizens into paying more for the government. Let's see. Yeah, there you go. These people keep getting richer and taking more and more. And that's it, it never ends. I mean, that's the sad thing about it. Chad is someone who, you've had what, 3 or 4 crypto startups now? What do you think about this stuff?
It's pretty it's hard to understand, so that's why the average person, I think, like myself, is perplexed with the whole thing.
Yeah, I just I watch people doing this stuff, and I find it amazing that all this started over a decade ago. And when it first started, it was a Bitcoin thing, and everybody was like, oh yeah, they thought it was just some some kind of cute little thing that they were doing, and everybody started walking away from it. And then here it is, what was it, like 3-4 years ago, suddenly everybody was like, hey, wait a minute, all those Bitcoins we bought back in the early 2000s are worth millions of dollars now. And suddenly everybody's scrambling, trying to find their passwords and their login names and all that stuff. And I think that's what really broke it back open and started making people get back into the whole Bitcoin scene. But I think that was rigged just like anything else. I mean, you got something, you want to try to find a new way to start making money. Well, bring up something in the past that had failed and make it look like if you get into that, you're going to be able to, be rich beyond your wildest dreams. And then the next thing you know, everybody wants to start building their own stuff because now they can't figure out where all their logins and everything were from back then, or, oh, I didn't take part of that, but now I'm going to jump into this stuff today.
Right.
So, yeah.
Is it the fact that when people that had it before back in the day, if they lost their password, didn't know it, they were locked out of it, right? They couldn't get their access to it. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, there are literally people now who build like these $1 million computer rooms, and probably more than that, but they have these big, huge server rooms where it does nothing but mine for Bitcoin 24/7, and I'm just trying to figure out where's the money coming from for all this.
Right.
I mean, they're saying, oh yeah, the stuff's out there. It's free. You just got to figure out how to get it. Where is it? Where's the money coming from? Money doesn't just come from nothing. All right. Especially in this day and age, there's got to be a starting point. There's got to be some kind of funding for it. Where is the money coming from?
Right.
And that's the thing. I mean, you see the Paul brothers, there's a big thing going on with those guys they had some kind of crypto zoo thing that they were putting together. Every time you turn around, there's some new crypto thing happening out there, and it's going to be the new biggest thing that's going on. And you give it 6 months and then it's all collapsed, and people lost money, and especially when it comes to people who are big in the social media world, they're going out there and they are using their influence, their crowd of devoted followers, and they're getting them all to donate every penny that they got into this stuff. They're making money off of it, and everybody who donated, it's all gone. I mean, as I know, as of right now, the only thing I know about, like with the Logan Paul thing, the only things I've heard about it is that there's been a promise that they're going to pay everybody back for certain things and all that, but nobody's gotten their money. And the person who broke the story on it, instead of paying people back, they're now spending money to go sue the person who broke the story for trying to get them for liable.
Right.
So, let's see here. From Joe Gurst, James Howells, 39 years old, well-known Bitcoin lore. In 2013, Howells accidentally threw out a hard drive containing his Bitcoin stash that he had mined in 2009, worth around $1 million at the time, but now is worth $527 million.
That's a serious coin there.
Yeah, I think I did hear that story in the news.
But when you start looking into this stuff, it's not just Bitcoin. When you think about it, think about the actual value of diamonds and how that has been overblown by the people who are selling the diamonds, the people who are mining the diamonds. I mean, when you look at it, when you go to those diamond mines, they call them blood diamonds for a reason, because they're literally using slave labor in a lot of situations to do this stuff, and people are dying mining this stuff out. But the people who are in charge of those, and I'm not saying the name because I ain't wanting to get myself sued on nothing.
Right.
But I mean, literally, they come in talking about the rarity of diamonds when actually diamonds aren't as rare as they try to make them out to be. And they literally flood the market with this stuff. You take a look at something like my mom had a ring that was worth something like $27,000. It had all these wonderful diamonds and stuff like that. And then you turn around and...
Hello, I lost sound. Hello?
You there? I got it. It's going on my end.
I can hear you, yeah.
You hear me now?
Hello?
Joey?
I can't hear you. I can't hear you.
Try plugging it. Okay.
Yeah.
Have you heard about that stuff, Chad?
You were saying they were flooding the market, and what was going on?
What basically what they were doing? Everybody else can hear. I think it's just on Joey's end. He's been having problems with his sounds. Let me look it up.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Let's see. when you start looking into, okay, how about now? You hear us now?
Yeah, I couldn't hear you. I lost you guys. I mean, the sound was
Oh,
completely
okay.
dead. I couldn't hear nothing.
But the thing, like I was saying, Joe, we were talking about diamonds and
Yes.
what it's taken, how people literally lose their lives trying to, harvest these diamonds for, they're literally living like slaves and indentured servants to
Right.
mine diamonds. And then the next thing you know, they're out there literally giving their lives for it, making no money doing it. But the people who own the companies that are harvesting it, they're the ones that are making all the money.
Right.
I was talking about this ring my mom had. I think it was something like $27,000 was the value on it when they bought it. 6 months later, take it to a jewelry store, want to trade it in and get an even nicer ring. And they get there and they're like, yeah, we'll give you like 10 grand for it. And like, wait a minute, this is 27 grand. They go, yeah, but what you're willing to pay and what it's actually worth are two different things.
Right. Right.
So
It's like anything else. It's like anything that a collector wants.
Yeah.
What it is, but it'll be as worth as much as they want to pay for it. If a collector's looking for something, they'll pay way over what it could be worth. It all depends how bad a collector wants something. So
right. Well,
True.
that's like as a kid growing up, one of the things that I had was the Evel Knievel thing where you wind it up and he jumps and all that stuff. I've still got the box for one of those. People will pay a bunch of money just for the box for it.
Yes.
And that's what I find that amazing, that people would actually pay the money for a box that, and it doesn't matter if it's in bad shape or not, as long as it's the box.
Yes.
And it's an original. That's what they care about.
That's where the money comes.
Oh yeah. I mean, let's be honest. I was one of those kids that if I got a toy for Christmas, it wasn't one of those things where I was putting it up on a shelf and never touching it. No, I went out and I played with that stuff.
Exactly.
And that's the crazy world of it. But that, I think that anytime you have this kind of stuff that goes on, there are people who are going to take advantage of it.
What's up, Sykes?
And they're going to take advantage not only of the situation, but they're going to take advantage of people's ignorance of what the actual value of things are.
Yeah. And I just want to interrupt you for, we got a great guy in the room, Sykes, who does a lot of videos and clipping and makes a lot of great stuff for the Dabbleverse. This is one of the true artists of the Dabbleverse right here.
I agree.
I've been seeing Psych around quite a bit and hearing nothing but good stuff. So What's up, Psych? So yeah, I mean, if Psych, you ever want to jump in, let us know, brother. We'll send you a link.
Yeah,
yeah,
it'd be good to, he'll send you stuff to air one of his videos when maybe on Saturdays when we do our show.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he does great stuff, really great stuff. So
yeah, anytime you want, Psych, if you got a clip or something like that you want us to put on there, let Joey know, let me or Chad know. We'll make sure we get it into the Saturday Night Lives on this stuff. So
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, always. Anna, you got to watch our live from last night if you want to know what the Dabbleverse is. If we try it, we're gonna go for 3 hours tonight. So
about a guy that dabbled a little bit in comedy.
Yeah.
It's a prickly pear. Yep.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. And Colonel, yeah, I understand, but you got to remember, art also, unless you have like somebody who is, established, and you're not going to be able to ever take their stuff, their stuff's not going to lose its value, Van Gogh or Van Gogh, wherever you're from, how you want to pronounce it, that kind of stuff, it doesn't lose its value. But, some of the stuff right now, you can find somebody like Chad's paintings. People are like, "Oh, Chad just plays games. What's up, Dome?" And but Chad passes away in 6 weeks from a stroke from that fifth cannoli he had for the day, and he's all of a sudden Chadwick Von Helsing's art is suddenly now worth billions of dollars. So at least we know little Chad's going to make some money off of it. So
absolutely.
That's the problem with art, and it's all in the beholder's eye. I mean, one day you can be somebody who's big and famous in this stuff. Oh yeah, no problem. And then next day, nobody gives a crap. So it's all subjective. So let's see, buy art because you like it, not because and that's the thing is like I have do you know who Frank Frazetta is?
No, never heard of him.
Let me see here. became very famous for his art. Does some just amazing stylings of art. I had originally become a fan of his stuff because his stuff was just really out there. Remember the band Molly Hatchet?
Yes.
Okay. Their album covers, they use some of Frank Frazetta's work from their album covers. I think it was Molly Hatchet. Yeah, Molly Hatchet or Thin Lizzy. But that's like an example of his art.
Very nice artwork.
Yeah. So like when I was in the Army, I ended up getting one of his original pieces. And I got it because I liked it. No idea that value would come of it. He did the Tarzan. Yeah, he did a lot of like the graphic books and stuff like that, like Tarzan and stuff like that. And now I find out that he's what do you call it? He'd done a lot of stuff for L. Ron Hubbard too for his stuff.
Interesting. That's interesting.
Yeah. Psych, my mods are like robots. They get in there, they get your links, and they put them out there, and they put them out quick. Oh yeah, Rochi, we were watching those before we started. Yeah, Joey was crying for a little bit there, but
yeah, a little bit.
Been consoling him.
I'm very, very upset, Rochi. Very upset.
He's going to get to go out on John's boat, so that's made him feel a whole lot better about
the victory.
I didn't win an award either, so I'm not happy about that either.
Well, I mean, it's pretty bad. I mean, they didn't even have my category in there or for this year. There was a lot of good guys that were deserving of the newcomer award. And Carlos Danger, it was all his favorite stuff. It's MLC's an MLC guy. He hates Shuley. It was a very, very bad award this year. It was terrible. Categories were horrible.
Well, plus the Dabbleverse is growing. So
that's why we need someone else to do the right award cinema, not Carlos Danger.
Yeah. Well, the thing is that as the Dabbleverse grows, you're going to have more and more people in it. Yeah. And they're going to be people who, suddenly they're going to win, they're going to get some of these awards or something like that. And people are going to be like, who the hell is that? And that's the sad thing about it is that, as it grows, there'll be people who are like, I watch Shuley, I watch Levy, I watch Joey C. Right. Who the hell are these other guys? I watch Doom, I watch Sight.
Right.
But
I will add this,
for
the 3,000th episode of some podcast, they could not mention me in the awards. They still talked about me somewhere in the awards. So the name Joey C became popular because of me.
We don't know how many sock accounts John's got. We don't know if he's here tonight or not. So
he probably is.
I would say last night I think he was pretty much watching. So
yeah, I tried to get blocked today in his chat room. I tried everything possible. I was sending him calling him the worst name, and he was banning, but he won't ban me. He just won't do it. So John, if you're listening, unban me from blocking me from the phone. I got to text you. I got to talk to you.
Nice.
Yeah, I mean the thing is, as much as we like to make fun of him, we don't want to see him actually be hurt or do him any harm. But I mean, seriously, if he would just use some common sense on stuff, he could be so much more than he is.
Yeah.
I
agree. We talked about that last night.
Well, he just said he got a 6-figure job. He's starting, I think, Monday. So,
What is that? Did he elaborate what job that is?
Yeah, no, I think he said last week. He didn't start it yet, but he said he had a 6-figure job he's starting.
Oh, interesting.
Well, is he going to be like the new, director of health for the United States? I mean, they're going from that one person that's there. I mean, he looks like he is the figure of modern health. So,
well, I heard he was going to be the new spokesperson for General Awards. But I heard.
Oh, there you go. Yeah. From one of the big pharma companies. I mean, he's
big money with those pharma companies. So I could see the 6 figures coming in.
I heard something interesting about the fact that they're talking about he's like a ground zero case of facial herpes. So
yeah,
who knows what's going on with that stuff.
Big money with that by having those warts and herpes. I mean, it's going to be interesting.
Yeah, I mean, if you've watched that movie World War Z, you understand, how they had to track him down. Let's see, Molly, and I was his right hand. So. But yeah, it's I mean, honestly, you talk about somebody who does nothing but fall upwards.
Yes.
And yet he continues to put his own hurdles in his way.
Yeah.
If
I'm going to make a statement tonight. I'm going to guarantee that a lot of people send me, they wish that I would stream with John again. They missed that. Because John and I were magical. I promise you in the near future it will happen. So
right?
Nice. Good.
And and the thing is that he has the opportunity. I mean, if he wants to, we will bring him on. We won't take the piss out of him.
Exactly.
We'll literally bring him on and let him do his thing. And and when he walks away, if it comes away and he feels like he's been disrespected or anything like that, that's only going to be because of how he acts.
Right.
We'll come in, we'll handle this properly and professionally, and if he wants to do it, come on in. We'll welcome you in. We'll treat you just like anybody else. Don't expect special treatment, but we're not just going to come in just tearing on you.
Yes.
So he has that opportunity. Whether or not he wants to take it, that's up to him.
Did you like Trump or did you like Kamala Harris?
Who, me?
Yeah.
I was behind Trump on it.
Well, boy, don't tell him
I normally don't talk about politics on here.
Don't tell him that. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, my thing is it didn't come down to personality, that kind of stuff and everything. And yeah, I know exactly who he is and how he is and all that. But it came down to me with the matter of, is my dollar worth more or less?
Exactly.
And that's where I was looking.
I agree with you on that one.
So, and everybody, make sure you say howdy to Verna Corden. Verna is
Hello,
a good friend
Verna.
of ours. She's from the Philippines. Does a lot of live streaming straight from her home in the Philippines. Really nice person, beautiful personality. So make sure you check her out. Verna, put the link to your channel in there so everybody knows what it is, hon. And if you get the chance, make sure you get over there and you hit the like and subscribe for Verna. She's a really beautiful person. So nice to have her in here. I mean, that's the thing, Joey. I mean, he could literally, I've got people that come in here. If you saw last night, I can't tell you how many people there were from Australia and New Zealand that were watching last night's live with Miriam Francis. We got people from all over the world coming in here watching this stuff, and he could literally expand his spittle to across the known universe if he did that.
It would be nice to see him make that change. I would hope nothing but that he would at least consider it,
Yeah. But we got people like Bob Levy talking about, after the 30th, he's going to have some time opening up. Hopefully we can get him on.
Yeah, we'll have Bob on for sure.
There's a lot of different people that we're going to be able to get on here, and it's going to come down to, again, he's going to be the person that puts the hurdles in whether or not he's able to make things work out or not us. Right. We'll extend the olive branch, whether or not he's willing to take it. That's on him, not me. So, wow. Yeah. House of Dab, John doesn't care about his legacy. Kind of sad. Huh? And I'm not even talking about legacy, Dub. I'm talking about just the ability to grow his own channel and his own, his own thing. The more you get out there, the more you get into, the more you get out there and start working with other people, the more that your channel and your community starts growing, and he has the chance to take care of that.
True. That's very true.
Yeah. It's like when Chad said, hey, Joey C, this guy, I like this guy. I've done some work with him, think about it. Yeah, absolutely. Let's do it.
Yeah.
I mean, that's one of the things I really like about Chad. When Chad was coming on, we were doing everything we could to start getting his channel to grow. The minute his channel started growing, he got out there and started helping all these other channels that were trying to grow as well. And, when people sit there and they go, oh, Chad's OSA, or he's this, he's that. Yeah. You know what? Chad ain't done nothing but try to help everybody else around.
Right. I noticed that the very first time I laid eyes on him, and he was, I had him on the very next day. And the first time I saw eyes on him was someone was talking. I don't remember what show was. And I invited him the very next day. I reached out to him and had him on the show. I mean, I knew he was the right kind of guy to want to be in your corner with you and help you grow and help other people grow. And it's all about other people as far as I'm concerned. It's I think it's easy to get a personality in each podcast, and you wind up people like that personality, they don't. But when you help other people, that's where it's all at, man. That's where it's all at.
And that's the thing is, you don't have to like somebody
to
recognize that they do nothing but help other people.
That's right.
And to me, that's the thing, is you can like me, not like me whatsoever. But the fact is that if I have the ability, if you are needing help and I have the ability to help you, I'm going to do what I can to help you.
Right, exactly.
So
That's exactly how Bob Levy's theory is. Bob helps a lot of people,
yeah,
and if he
Right.
really believes in somebody, he'll. I mean, he's hands on with you, even off the screen. So
and there you go. Yeah, his Chad's imitations are some of the funniest stuff you're going to find.
yes.
And Dub, if you really want to start getting into some funny stuff, start watching some of his stuff from earlier than that. Chris
That's right.
Shelton explains the history of dirt. I mean, I saw that, I almost peed myself.
Yeah.
It was so funny.
Thanks
Yeah,
a lot,
Chad's
dude.
going for his Jimmy Buffett shirts
Thank you.
there.
Thank you very much. Appreciate
Thank
it,
you
guys.
very much.
Let's see. Yeah, so I mean, this Sam Bankman Fried thing literally to me is just another example of how the elitists look at things.
Yes, I
They
agree.
look at it as we're all just another way to bleed money into
Yeah.
their accounts and continue
Very
funding them.
Very true.
You know, it used to be they got their money by government contracts, things like that. Now, instead of worrying about, doing the back end route of going through the government, they just literally come straight through us and take the
Right.
money now. And, that's one of the downfalls of capitalism. But, honestly, show me another system where people can advance from nothing to being billionaires overnight than in the capitalist system.
Yes.
True.
Yeah, there are people that suffer, but if you got the push, you got the drive and things like that, and you come up with an idea, you can literally hit the jackpot in this system.
Absolutely. It's one thing about America. It's a
Mhm.
golden opportunity to be successful 24/7, any day of the week, no matter how old you are. It
Yep.
takes one thing to catch the eye of certain people, and you could be an instant millionaire. That's a fact.
Oh yeah, you look at my brother. My brother's got a great job, makes real good money. His wife started getting into real estate, started selling houses and stuff like that. Now she's making more money than him.
Yeah, of course.
And that's because she's just out there driving. She's
Right.
socially networking on everything. She's hitting it up. And the next thing you know, she's killing it. And she's awesome at doing it. How you doing, Disclosure Crypto?
Big money in that real estate stuff. Big money.
Oh yeah. Could look at Gari Network once. I'll take a look at it. Disclosure, the Gari Network. All right, yeah, I'll take a look at that and see what's going on. And I watch people, that you take someone like my dad, and son of a coal miner from Kentucky, on top of it with the Cherokee, us being part of the Cherokee Nation in our bloodline and everything. And this is a guy who refused to admit that he had a Native American in him, because during that time, if you did, it was a bad thing. All they thought was, you were an alcoholic or something like that. So, this is a guy who literally comes from Eastern Kentucky in the Appalachia, which is probably the poorest people in the United States live there, the least educated, comes up to Southwestern Ohio, and magnificent career, doing real good financially. I mean, this guy literally came from being dirt floor poor,
Right.
to having a great life.
That's awesome. Great story.
How many other places in the world can you do that?
No, not too many.
Right.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And it all came from that drive to, I'm going to give my kids better than I ever had, and what is really sad is that I saw a report saying that this is the first generation in how many where the kids are worse off than the parents were.
Yes.
I mean, you look at these kids, they don't want to work. They don't want to go out there. They don't want to put the drive in. The ones who are actually getting ahead are the ones who want to try actually going out there and working for a living and trying things out. Oh, wow. You from near Northeast Hazard, James? I'm from actually over near the West Liberty area. So just outside of West Liberty, that's where my roots run from. Now, Joey, you're originally from Kansas, right?
No,
So
Chicago, born and raised. Yeah, I spent
the
34 years in Chicago.
yeah.
Born in the city. All my life in the city. Came to Florida when I was 34, and I'll be 59 in a couple weeks. So,
When was the last time you was in Chicago?
the last time I went home was a couple years ago. I'm
Uh,
gonna think 17 or 18, I believe it was.
I've been, we're by car, we're 4 hours, by plane, we're 45 minutes from Chicago.
Yeah,
I've been going there for decades now.
it's a great city. I mean, outside of it's gotten serious with the gangs and the shootings, but I
Oh,
mean,
it's bad.
overall, it's a good city. It really is.
It's a beautiful city. I mean, when you sit there and you think about it, I mean, honestly, when you look at the culture, the food, the people, it
Right,
actually rivals New York City.
right.
And that's the great thing about Chicago is that it has a lot of it's similar to New York, but in the same hand, it's also completely different from New York.
Yeah.
It's its own
Well,
thing.
New York's bigger, but I think it's more dirtier than the city of Chicago. Chicago is a lot smaller, but it's a lot cleaner. I think it's a lot cleaner than New York. So.
Oh, Doom got Clipper of the Year.
Nice.
Yep, he deserves it. Congratulations, Doom.
Congratulations, Doom. All right. That's great.
Congratulations,
Yeah.
buddy. I knew you'd get it. I voted for you, so.
Yeah. I like Chicago.
Yeah.
But the last few times I've been to Chicago, I wasn't liking Chicago.
Yeah.
I literally got off what's the Grand Central Station there where Amtrak is in downtown.
Yeah. Downtown, yeah.
Go outside, have a smoke. I'm standing out there, literally out there talking to the Amtrak police while I'm out there, and there's literal fights going on in the middle of the street in front of Grand Central. And I'm looking at him like, what is this? He goes, that's just every night of the week now.
A lot of people in this great world of ours, they couldn't spend an hour in Chicago. You got to come from a different kind of cloth, man. It's to handle that. So,
and it's like Detroit. Detroit's the same way. If you're not from the Detroit area, you don't know just how it is. And Chicago's the same way.
Yep.
Chicago's just more concentrated because it's got more people.
Right. And they know if you're a visitor or if you're there from there, been there, raised there, they know. I mean, they feel it. The people that are doing all the craziness there, they know. They could sense if you're a true Chicagoan. So
yeah. And James, I know what you're talking about. Our family actually owns what is called Walter's Holler outside of West Liberty. So, and if you guys don't realize, holler is comes from the slanging of the word hollow, and that's the valley between in the mountains there. It's the big valley that runs through them, and our family land track back through there is called Walter's Holler. So
interesting. Very interesting.
Well, if you ever listen, there's a song called "You'll Never Leave Harlan Alive," and it talks about how different it is living in the holler as compared to living elsewhere, because it says the sun comes up at 10 in the morning and the sun goes down at 3 in the evening. And the crazy thing about it is that's because the sun can't clear the mountains until those times. So it's a very different kind of life down there in the holler than it is outside of the Appalachia. It's wonderful stuff. So, all right, I know Chad's got to get rolling here. So, Joey, you got anything to send us off with tonight?
Excuse me. No, just tomorrow in the morning show. Tomorrow also Busted Balls, where we do our show where I gotta, they send super chats for me to eat stuff I don't like. Tomorrow's mushroom pizza. I can't stand mushrooms. And then
you can't stand mushrooms?
Huh?
You can't stand mushrooms?
Oh no, I don't like mushrooms. No.
What about anchovies?
I like anchovies more than I like mushrooms, but I don't pick anchovies. I don't order that stuff regularly. But I've had both of them. I tried both of them, and I did like anchovies a lot better than I did mushrooms. I just
I love anchovies and mushrooms.
Yeah,
so.
but that's something I pick every day. I wouldn't pick either one of them every day. So,
Yeah. All right, Chad, what you got going on this week?
Just so you guys know, on my channel, there's an attorney named Frank Amadeo made a couple videos about Sam Bankman Fried, so the viewers could watch those if they want, and we'll have some more Stuttering John material, I'm sure, next week on my channel. And it was great to see you guys again, and I had a lot of fun tonight.
And I got one more thing, John. I
Go
put
right
it
ahead.
in the private chat if you want to post. It's Christmas time and it's here. The store is here. Thanks to John, get me through this. How to work the new fourth wall. I got some good items up. I got the new mug everybody's been wanting. My mug shot is on the mug, and you can get that in the store. And
Nice.
Oh, do you
yeah.
put that up on your fourth wall?
Yeah, I put my mug shot on a mug. Yeah, I did. But I sent them to you in the private chat. They don't.
Yeah,
I
I
didn't
got
want
it.
to
I'm gonna put that up in the chat right now for
Yeah, I didn't
everybody.
want to just put it up there. It's your show. I didn't want to.
Oh no, go right ahead, brother. I mean, we're all three part of this.
Yes,
You
there it
know,
is.
that's the thing. And Uncle Ted, that's a real good statement there. I hadn't even brought that up. I'd heard about it. I forgot about it because we talk about a million things. But a lot of people think that Sam Bankman Fried was also put in there as a way to try to take down crypto.
Right.
I mean, the government's been known to do stuff like that before. So, Chad,
Yeah.
when you get your fourth wall?
I think I have an account, but I don't really know how to use it.
It's real simple. I mean, I could show you. John showed me. I could show you when you get together one day and show you. John taught me really easy. Really easy. It really is.
It is so easy. You can handle it. I mean, you're out there. You're learning stuff about how to help people with tech on their channels and stuff like that. You can do this.
Oh, okay.
Not that hard. So, all right, folks. This week I got some more real police stuff coming up. I got some more stuff going on within the Scientology community. Just talked to Jamie Mustard and Miriam Francis. We are going to be doing a live stream here coming up pretty soon. Is Mike Render forgivable? And we're going to talk about just exactly what's been going on with Mike Render, how he's handled things with Miriam Francis, how he's handled things with Jamie Mustard, about the truth about Mike Render and his past, and the fact that he simply refuses to talk about any of it, leaving all of us with nothing but questions, and whether or not he deserves to be able to be forgiven for what he's done. That we got a ton of other things coming this Saturday night. We're going to be doing another Stuttering John show. We're going to be talking about the it's kind of strange how Stuttering John and a certain person who passed away not too long ago seem to have a very similar look. So I mean,
John's uncle for sure.
Yeah, the person on the left looks like they've got some kind of jaundice or something going on there, and have been unable to release body water and all that stuff. But it's kind of strange. There's a real resemblance there, especially with that T in the forehead going on there. So
yeah, and I was hoping maybe in the future. I think we talked about it, about doing some of the serial killers, like John Wayne Gacy. The female serial killer was the first female ever executed here in Florida, and then you got Jeffrey Dahmer in Milwaukee. And I was in Chicago when one of them were I was a young boy when he was doing all the killing. That's John Wayne Gacy. And then I came to Florida and was hearing it, and that's when they caught the female lady that was taking all her Johns and killing them, which was not too far from Tampa. And then, of course, Milwaukee was very close to Chicago back when Jeffrey Dahmer was. I've been, in my lifetime, close to 3 of the major serial killers in life. So that's interesting, and I find that very fascinating, those people.
I actually interviewed a subject that we were looking at for 3 different homicides within our city,
right?
Who ended up being labeled by the Department of Justice as a serial killer.
Yeah.
And ended up committing not being here anymore by cop. Right. And, so I've literally sat across the table in an interview from someone who ended up being considered a serial killer.
Interesting, very interesting.
I think, truth be told, when this guy was done, he had over 10 bodies on his hands.
That's a lot. So that's a lot. John Wayne Gacy became an artist. He did paintings in jail, and they wouldn't let him sell it for profit. But I think the state of Illinois stole them and took the money.
Oh yeah,
someone went for quite a big money. It's just interesting that I think the biggest thing is that we can tell the people is why do they keep them alive so long? It's years and years they're on death row. And, the obvious reason is they want to study their minds and see as much information they can absorb, why they get to that point. But I think personally, they go way too long. When you're that much of a demon, I think you need to be, put out the pasture as quickly as possible,
It's our system that allows that.
Right.
You know, I mean, other states are looking to abolish the capital punishment.
Yes.
You got Texas stepped it up that if they've got X amount or more of credible witnesses who saw it happen, you don't get appeals.
Right.
Go directly to go. So
that's the way it should be. That's the way it should be. That's the way I believe in that. So,
but I mean, think about it. In John Wayne Gacy's case, you know, how much money did the state actually end up making off of his art and things like that?
Yeah, I'm not sure, but I know they did make they weren't going to let him make it for profit, but they did. Right. He did a lot of paintings over the 20 or 25 years he was in death row, and quite of it the art went for some high dollars. So.
Yeah. And see, I don't have a problem with him not getting the money, but I have a problem with the state getting the money.
I think if they were going to keep the money, they should have gave it to the victims' families of the people. That's where it should have went. You know, I mean, but you can't replace your son, but you know, you can at least give.
They
it
had
something.
to hire a governor's niece or a state senator's son to be the director of prison art reform and sales at 150 grand a year.
Right.
You know. So they could create more bureaucracy and more money going out to friends and family and stuff like that. That's frankly, how politics work. Being from
Illinois, which is a great state, but I can't trust a state where 6 out of the last 8 governors went to prison. So you know, it's you know, that's another factor there. So.
All right, folks. As always, thank you so much for being here with us tonight. I hope you're enjoying the 3 Can Keep a Secret podcast series. You know, something I want to do is we need to look into it is the actual fraud and criminal actions of like prison wardens.
Yes, that's a good one. That's a big good one.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, we're all familiar with the movie Shawshank Redemption and how fraud and grift and all that played out with the warden there and how they were literally using the prisoners as their own slave workforce.
Very common in the real world.
And that's the thing is that's it's a reality, and it's not just a reality in the past; it's a reality of today. So, as always, folks, thank you all for being here. Thank you so much for supporting the channel. Make sure you're getting out there and checking out the other ones like Sykes' channel, Doom's channel. Make sure you're getting out there and showing these other folks some love. And as always, we'll see you on the next one. Life is short. You get one shot. Make it count.